Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're doing our treasure map playthrough. It's better late than never, right? Fortunately, I did have some stuff on and I haven't had a chance to do too much treasure map. Hopefully you guys checked out the stream. I did stream a little bit of treasure map and you guys would have seen the teams that I am using now, but the purpose of this video is to showcase the teams that I did put together in the preparation video and see how they operate in the new World League. So, with that said, let's dive in. Treasure map versus KAIDO. It's a bit of an interesting one. There are, three treasure map characters on rewards here. You get the treasure map KAIDO from the actual treasure map that was based around King and Queen, but you also get the Onigashima Luffy, the Beast Pirate Luffy. That Luffy is an absolute weapon. He is such a good free-to-play character. Make sure to hit the 1,000,000 points to farm him up. He also came alongside a Beast Pirates Jinbei as well, who has one of the best supports in the game. He's basically custard, but for free spirit characters, as well as being a fairly decent unit himself, being a self-rocket conditional booster, rotating all orbs into his orbs. He's just very, very good for free spirit teams, especially as a support. The other unit is the Halloween Robin. Now, Halloween Robin is probably the weakest of the batch. She probably could see some play, but I don't see where she would see some play. The KAIDO, he's pretty average as well, but I feel like he'll see a little bit more play than the Robin actually does. But let me know in the comment section below if you like which character you like the most. Is it the KAIDO? Is it the Robin? Is it the Luffy? In my opinion, the Luffy comes out on top every day of the week, and it's not even a competition. But once we hit the intrusion against the big dog KAIDO himself, this particular fight was designed for Queen. Queen was the character that this particular fight was designed for, as well as obviously the treasure map boosters. Now, the whole idea of this video is to not use the treasure map boosters. I am using Kappa or Kawamatsu. But basically, the legend that you actually want to use is Legend Queen. Legend Queen's really good. Queen has type advantage. He's great because he can get around the resilience. But with this particular team, if you can't find a Queen, you can always use a King friend captain. Especially in the early stages, it doesn't matter too much. If you can find a friend captain, what's her name? Okiku, the treasure map booster Okiku. She's going to give you a lot more points in the early stages, and you'll be able to get through it a little bit easier. Momo on turn 1 will give you cooldowns to your decks and quick characters. With most of the new batch, as you see here with Who's Who and Black Maria, as well as Page 1 Ulti and Yamato, they all get their cooldowns no matter what, because they're already on an 11-turn cooldown thanks to being boosted in this event. On stage 2, we come up against Orochi, who has 5 turns of defense up. He gives us paralysis and a full board of bomb orbs. We can get around that with the switchability of Ace Sabo. The special of Who's Who removes the paralysis and gives us some more orbs. And then Black Maria is just going to remove the defense up. If you want to here, you can pop the Queen special as well. It really doesn't matter too much. You're going to hit, you guys basically going to destroy Orochi anyway. But I guess, just having Queen's special available for you guys is just an extra attack boost for later down the track when the Who's Who special isn't cutting it. I guess you could use Sasuke on this team too. I think I'm using Sasuke now, as Sasuke's an orb booster. That way, I got the Kappa on the team as well. And over Ace Sabo. And using the orb boost of Sasuke will auto-trigger the special of Queen on this particular stage. Against the final stage, there is KAIDO with... he has 15 hit barrier and 3 turns of resilience. So that's why bringing someone that can do end of turn damage, like Page 1 Ulti, is your captain. Or using something like Queen will work very, very nicely. You can still use the Dreadnought Saber. That is another option for you guys too. Or finding a way to get end of turn damage. So that was the intrusion battle against KAIDO. Pretty straightforward. Not too tricky. Let's move on to the first mini-boss now. Alright, something to note with this particular treasure map as well is they actually changed the map. It's very similar to the Japan map with the update, but it's not exactly the same. And because of that, we have come up against King along the way. Now, I always tend to go down the middle. That's where the bento is, and it's just a quicker run with maximizing your stamina for the amount of runs that you particularly do on treasure map. But at the end of the day, it's up to you however you want to run it. If you want to get the maximum amount of your stamina, just head through the middle path at the end, every single time. But for this particular run, I went around the outside thinking that I could avoid all the mini-boss stages, but we ended up coming up against King. Now, against King, we are using double Super Type Zoro. Super Type Zoro is one of the best treasure map legends. You can literally just use his Super Typing, then use his special, then use his other special. And when he's boosted, he's just so good because he gives 2 turns of cooldown to the crew. His Super Typing does damage. And with that, you can just stage wipe the first 4 stages and get cooldowns for your crew members. That way, when you hit the final stage, you not only do a bunch of wave clearing, but you also have your specials ready to go. So when we come up against King, we're not going to be in a bad spot. King gets a special blind, which Zoro is really, really good at getting around anyway, as his captain removes special blind in his kit. And then King puts up 4 turns of defense up. You can use the Verse Shanks special ability on turn 4 if you're stalling out. Otherwise, bringing Onami on the team, the 6-star Onami instead of the 6+, is great because she's going to set the defense to 0. You can always use the Onami support on Luffy Sanji as well. That's another option for you guys if you don't have 6-star and 6+. That'll set the defense to 0, and you'll be hunky-dory as well there. But that team worked really, really well. Shout out to Ashanti for that one. It is an absolute weapon of a team. Let's move on to the actual mini-boss fights now. Alright, so we're over here on the actual mini-boss stage now, and the first mini-boss we come up against is page 1. Now, against page 1, we are using Luffy with a friend Luffy. Now, you could probably bring something like Treasure Map Sanji for some more cooldowns, but I really like using the double Luffy strat, so that way that you can actually get around all the wave clearing mechanics. I do have the Brûlé support on Katakuri, just because we just don't have enough cooldowns to get around the block orbs, but you could easily put the Brûlé support on Luffy, and then replace Katakuri with something else. He's a free-to-play character. I think with my team that I'm using now, I'm using Sasaki and Black Maria, and then I'm using the support of Mr. 3 on the Sea Monster. That way I get the Sea Monster special ready to go as well. But the idea of this team is just to use the super typings of Luffy to stage clear, as well as the double special activation of Zoro to get around the other 2 stages as well. Zoro triggers the super typing for Luffy, and with that, you basically just get wave clear, wave clear, wave clear, wave clear, and it all just works very, very nicely. I actually got the special of the Kinemon interrupt, so I get all my specials charged. That's another thing to note too, is Kinemon on stage like 1 will give you special charge and a rainbow chest. It's really nice when that actually happens, because that way you just get all your specials, and it just makes life a lot easier. As you can see with the Brûlé support, we get around those block orbs, which is really, really nice. But if you could find a way to get Katakuri special, that's another way of getting around the block orbs as well, just utilizing his special. But it does mean that you won't have to sort of find a way around all that wave clearing and stuff like that. Because I didn't need Zoro special, I just used the double Zoro special to kill there. But obviously, if you have like any special available when you get to the end, just use that. Kill page 1 and you will be hunky-dory. With the Mr. 3 support on the Sea Monster, you can get their special ready to go. And that way your side characters will get an orb boost as well. So it works very, very nicely. Let's move on to the next mini-boss now. Alright, so the next fight is against Mr. Jack. Now, Jack is a strength unit, so bringing as many quick characters as possible is going to help you out. So for my team, we are using 6+ Nami. 6+ Nami is a quick unit who can also set defense to 0, as well as give color affinity. So she just works very, very nicely. We are using Arena Shinobu as well. Arena Shinobu is great because you can pop Arena Shinobu special on the first turn, and she does end of turn damage, very similar to stuff like Kazuna Kid, Colosseum Kid, and all those units that can just do end of turn damage, which helps out a lot with just wave clearing our way through the first couple of stages. She does get her special back as well if you are over a certain threshold, which she goes down to 3 turns. But because you attack basically 3 turns to get the wave clear, it works really, really nicely. She's also our designated attack booster for this particular team, so there's also that. She's just really, really nice. It's really, really nice to have. The downside to this Jack fight is when you get to the final stage, he gives you a full board of unfavorable orbs, or he makes every orb unfavorable except for tandem slots. You can use something like Germa, or you can use something like Sober Mask. Germa's boosted, and he's really good for another fight, but you could easily use them there, and then just find a way to put a Straw Hat on the team. That way you can just get a full board of tandem slots as well, and they make the tandem slots matching, which is really, really nice. And then you can use the super typing thanks to the Straw Hat, and it just all works super hunky-dory, but for this particular recommended fight, they recommend using Kanjuro. Now, Kanjuro gives bomb orbs, and he makes bomb orbs beneficial to driven characters. What I've actually done with this particular team, I've used the free-to-play Ryoiin, who's a quick driven character. I've put him underneath the Kinemon, so sorry, not Kinemon, under Kanjuro, so that way we can at least have 1 orb on this stage. Kanjuro is going to remove the chain coefficient reduction as well. We get an attack boost with Shinobu, we get a color affinity boost, as well as setting defense to 0 with Nami, and that way we can just get around all these nasty debuffs. Now, Jack only lets us attack with 3 characters, so as long as you have 3 quick characters on the team, you pretty much will be ready to go here. The idea is just to basically, I don't know why I'm using these specials, like they're just literally doing nothing. But as you can see, like just with the color affinity boost from Nami, as well as her nice captain ability, we can take out Jack easy peasy. Now the next fight, or the previous fight, I think was against King, something like that. But let's move on to the final mini boss now. Alright, so the final fight is against the Funkman Queen. Now, Queen is an int unit, so bringing side characters is the way to go. And the recommended characters for this fight are Brook, Zoro, and Germa. Now, as I mentioned in the previous fight, Germa can be really, really good for that because you can get a full board of tandem slots. So if you don't really need them for this fight, you can bring someone else. But as long as you just put a very good captain in your middle slot, you actually don't need them too much. The way we are getting around the wave clearing for this particular team is by utilizing Vista. But funny enough, with me, I actually forgot to max my Brook. My Brook was only at like level 5 special when I actually jumped in. And I was stressing a little bit. I was like, oh crap, like I've totally stuffed this up on turn 1. I'm not going to be able to get around the threshold. I'm not going to be able to get around the damage reduction, and I'm going to be stuck there. I also attack there when I don't know why I should have. Like, just basically where you want to pop the Vista special. That way you just get to stay like a board wipe, and then on stage 4 you can use the Vista special again. You get another board wipe, and then that way you just move into the final stage. On the final stage, you are going to get captain swapped with your middle row. So your captain, one of your middle characters is going to become the captain, which is really nice for this team because our captains can either become Verse Whitebeard or Germa. Either or, it doesn't matter which one that we actually get. It's going to be really, really nice. To remove the damage reduction, we have Zoro. To remove the damage reduction, we have Brook. To remove the threshold, we have Zoro. And every time you use a special, the Brook and the Zoro actually get cooldown. So I was like, oh, if I just keep using specials here, maybe I'll be able to get there. And then realized, Stump, you're not even close, man. Like, what are you doing? So because of that, I decided to use basically everyone else's specials and see how we go. And funny enough, we still managed to kill Queen through the damage reduction. But it is a lot easier if you do have that Brook special available. He's a free-to-play Kazuna character from the last Kazuna, and most of you guys should have him farmed up anyway. So let's move on to the Olin fight, the final fight of the treasure map, and let's wrap up this video. Alright, so the final fight is against Olin, as I mentioned, and the particular unit that is good for this, besides the treasure map boosters, is Legend King. Now, Legend King is a driven powerhouse booster, as well as a quick booster as well. So you can build like a mono quick team here, and then bring a friend King. But if you can also bring something like an Okiku friend captain in the early stages, that's also going to work well as well. Just like I mentioned with the intrusion, but for this particular fight, you don't need the Dreadnought Saber if you are doing that because there is no resilience. King's an absolute weapon. King and Queen are both very, very good legends, and they are both very, very good for this particular treasure map, as it was actually built for them, funny enough. So on stage 4, we come up against Choppermon. He's going to bind our captain, so this is where using Yamato is an absolute god. She can just get around that very easily, and then Choppermon rolls our middle character specials back. We are going to use the special of Who's Who here, that way we get an attack boost, and because of that attack boost, it's going to auto-trigger our King special. Moving on to the final stage, you can't use more than 2 specials, so we really only want to have Black Maria and Rockstar available for us. So getting the auto-trigger of King is really, really nice, so that way we can just basically save ourselves a special. We're going to use page 1 ulti to give ourselves a full board of orbs, and then use Yamato to turn them into Wano slots. And then we can use the King special, so that way we get the carryover of the chain buff, and that way it doesn't matter that we've used the Yamato special on turn 4. On the final stage against Olin, she's only going to let us use 2 specials, as I mentioned. She normally gives us like a full board of block orbs, and she gives us 5 turns of attack down. King's auto trigger is great because we now get an orb boost to our driven powerhouse and our quick characters. We can remove the attack down thanks to Rockstar, and then we're going to get color affinity with Black Maria. You also get burn on the Choppermon stage, but you guys know me. Unless there's reserve like a revive mechanic, burn really doesn't matter too much. So that's going to wrap up the video. Like I said, guys, better late than never with the treasure map playthrough. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one anyway, and if you did, make sure to go down there and belt that like button for me if you're new to that channel as well. Hit the big red subscribe button. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Late!